Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I'm going to answer a question in my series on questions and answers. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Leave them on my website in the comment section on there. I will answer your questions either via direct message or something, or I'll make a video about the question. This is a good one because I think this is something a lot of people go through, and it needs to be dealt with, because if it's not dealt with, then people just go through life never getting what they really want. They always feel like they're just about there, but there's something holding them back. And this video is going to be a real revelation for people who are in that kind of position where they feel like they're getting stuff, they understand, at least in a head sense, they have a head knowledge of what they need to be doing, but the actual practical application of it doesn't seem to be working out as well as they want it to be. And so the question is, it is exhausting trying to remain in a positive vibration. How do I do it? Well, there's a couple things. You know, our words reveal a lot about us. And especially when somebody's doing it from a gut, like just an instinctual response, that sometimes really reveals what's really going on in the heart. Because people can put on the right words, they can use religious terms and try to sound all spiritual, make everything sound good so it doesn't sound like they're doing anything wrong. But it's not about that. This is about getting to the issue, the root issue, and dealing with it. Not about saving face or looking like you're doing everything right. Doesn't matter. If things aren't working out right, you're obviously not doing everything right. And that's not a fault on you. That's not to criticize you. It's just to say, hey, let's fix the situation. Let's not keep just covering over it and pretending like it's not really there and your life not get better. I want your life to be the best it could possibly be. So let's just address the issue. Now, what's interesting here is you use the word trying. Now, I know people sometimes will make a mistake and use the wrong word. It's not really the word they meant. But trying is a very unique word because it's not like trying something like you try new food. When you try a new food, you are committing to trying it, but not anything else. If you're talking about manifesting and getting in a positive vibration, you shouldn't be trying it. This is not a test. This is not something you're trying out, but you're not committing to really for the long term. This is something you are going to do. This is going to be part of who you are. Your character and nature is a positive, high vibration person. So maybe that's part of the exhaustion because you're not really committed to it. Sometimes just being committed to something is enough to really give you the energy and the fortitude to actually make it happen. But if you're still in that trying mode where you're just trying it out, just seeing how it works, you're not really committed to it, so your faith's not built for it. You haven't dedicated yourself to it. You're not diligent in that endeavor because you're like, well, I'm just going to try it out a little bit. And then when the first obstacle comes your way, you're like, oh, this is so exhausting trying to be in a positive vibrational state. This just isn't working for me. Maybe it's not working for you because you're not working it. Understand, like I said from the outset, this is not a criticism. This is trying to get down to the root of the issue. Because I want you to solve this issue so you can be in that positive, high vibrational state and reap the harvest of being in that high vibrational state. All the blessings and the goodness and the glory of God overflowing in your life. Which is something many people don't experience, and it's tragic because it's freely available to you. So I would say, first and foremost, change your vocabulary. Now, that may not make any real changes, but it could. Because it could just be that you haven't committed to this. Are you committed to it? Really examine yourself. Don't just say yes because it sounds good. You know it's what everybody wants to hear. Really be honest with yourself. Have you committed to this? Because I'm going to tell you the simple reality is, if you had, exhaustion wouldn't be a thing. You just move right through it. You barrel through it toward the victory line. You wouldn't be asking this question in the first place. But I'd also say that it's not exhausting. The reason it's exhausting is if you're operating in the carnal mind. This is why I always stress you have to renew your mind. That's how you prove that which is that good and perfect and acceptable will of God for your life. You can't prove that. You can't have that manifesting your life if you haven't renewed your mind. What many people do is they try to be positive. They put on a show. They try it out. But they're still doing all the same low vibration things that got them the low vibration results. So if you're coming home, you're watching the news, when you're during the day, you're on social media, reading all the negativity and the drama of the day, you're watching the same garbage television and movies and stuff that is polluting your mind and soul. And then you wonder why it's exhausting to be positive. This would be like an obese person who goes and exercises for 10 minutes a day and then eats a gallon of ice cream and then wonders, it's so exhausting exercising. I just don't see making any progress. Yes, because you're sabotaging yourself. Exercise alone is good, but you need to have that extra component of reining in your diet. You can't eat the gallon of ice cream anymore. And so if you want to be in a positive, high vibrational state, you can't keep consuming that same diet of negativity. You're sabotaging yourself. And this is what so often is the problem people have. They'll talk about how I've tried that positivity stuff, it doesn't work for me, but they never made any changes. You can't just cut down your news activity down from an hour a day to 10 minutes a day and think that you're being positive. Yes, you've improved some, but you're still getting poison each day. And how can you be positive when you're allowing that stuff into your heart? And it's not just that, because sometimes people measure it that way. Well, I only watch 10 minutes of the news and I normally watch an hour. Well, great, but did you meditate and ruminate on the news of the day for hours of your day? Thinking about, why did this happen? Oh, this has happened over here. Talking about it with other people? It's way more than 10 minutes of time of focus you actually dedicated to that. You had to cut that stuff out. The reason being positive and being in a high vibrational state is exhausting for people is because they're operating in the carnal mind. The mind of the world. That's sensual, earthly, devilish. It's not good. It keeps you negative. It keeps you low. And so you're constantly creating an infinite battle in yourself, making it hard on yourself for no reason. Cut that stuff out. It's not doing you any good. And you know it. You know in your heart it's not doing you any good. And if it's people who are bringing this negativity to you and you've corrected them, I'm not talking about you have to go criticize them and rebuke them and yell at them and everything. You just tell them, listen, I'm focusing on the good things of God right now. I don't want to talk about anything negative. I don't want to talk about the politics of the day. I don't want to talk about this drama and that drama. I don't want to talk about wars and rumors of wars. I don't want to talk about plagues and illnesses. I want to talk about things that are lovely and of good report. Can you help me with that? And if they can't, they refuse to, you must stop communicating with them. Plain and simple. Don't lie to yourself. Well, you know, they're a good friend. Are they a good friend? You tell them what you're trying to do. You tell them you're trying to better yourself and they work against you. That doesn't sound like a good friend. But at least give them the opportunity to try to work with you and help you in that regard, because many will. Many just don't know. They don't know any better way. You're showing them a better way and you're showing them the way you want to go, and maybe they'll come alongside you. But you have to cut out all these things that are dragging you down. You can't just keep consuming that stuff, keep putting that stuff in your heart, and then wondering why the issues of life you're having are not what you want them to be. If you want to be operating the highest positive vibration you can be in, you must cut out the toxins, the negativity of the world. Cut that out of your life completely and start focusing on the good. Listen, I have a whole website filled with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos that you can watch for free. You can build yourself up. You can edify yourself in the faith. You can get that positive, high vibrational state and focus on the good. I have 2 albums currently called Conscious Positivity that are high vibration, positive music that can help you raise your vibration. Take these tools, let them work for you to produce better results in your life, and cut out all that negativity and watch as you become that positive, high vibrational person who gets great results in life. My friend, you can do this. But you have to really commit to it. And that means cutting out the negativity of the world. You can't give yourself any more excuses or leeway to partake of that stuff. You must cut it out. And then focus on the good. Renew your commitment to focus on God's goodness and only things that are lovely and of good report. And watch as your life becomes that positive, high vibration life that you want it to be. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.